Yes, Jamaica. Reasoning with Jamaica. I'm so glad to be talking to you, sons and daughters of the land of wood and water. Yeah, now. So, as I say, I would never want to come to Jamaica unless I could look everybody in the eye and say, look, we have something for you, We sit down and talk, work it out, you know. So, me the amongst a whole heap of Jamaican from time. I was in Denmark. There was a few black people. Don't even think about Rastas. They're just black people. Anytime you go on the street and see a black man, you celebrate Rasta. You cross the street because they were, So by the time Rastafari comes through to I through books, and Bob Marley, and I start to see that boy, this thing, it started to ease a lot of my things in my mind, as a Catholic, reading the Book of Revelation and everything and all of that. So Bob and what Bob had to say, it just started making sense. I used to know Bob when I was in Africa. I never checked for him really, I just think, I don't know what it was about, but it's like, no, I was more into Elvis Presley and rock and roll. So when I came to Denmark, I was rejoicing, rock and roll, Elvis, and you get more conscious, the only black youth at school. And so racism becomes a reality, and then you learn about the environment changing, and then you learn about um, people calling rock and roll the devil's music. At that time, it was just that somebody mentioned it. I couldn't understand. I was like, how can they call this sweet, sweet thing the devil's music? And I still don't think it's the devil's music, but for me, just that somebody said it, that was enough to kind of like, extra sensitive, like, said about rock and roll. So it gave me a huge dilemma because I used to read the book of Revelations and it used to freak me out. I couldn't find no interpretation for it, Rasta, and it was just freaking me out and not know what was going on, you know. And so Bob came in and eased my mind when I started listening to Bob Marley and see what he's got to say and the whole issue of life and revelation and race and Africa and all of that, it kind of like resolved to the point where I just had to write a letter to my parents and say, I'm not going to finish school, I'm leaving this, I'm going to be a Rasta. They said, what you going to do? I said, I'm going to go play music on the streets anywhere. I'm going to help Bob Marley sing redemption songs. Who is this Bob Marley? So they had to go search. And I went to search too. So I went to England. And I didn't have much money really, And I was telling all the white people, they say, what you gonna do? And blah, blah, blah. I says, nah, I'm going to England. The black people there will take care of me. And that's what I did. I took my last money, took a bus, 24-hour drive. Them time there was no Ryanair. And I reached Victoria Coach Station. First night I sleep on the ground, like cold ground was my bed last night. Yeah, platform 8, Victoria Station, flat there, singing the same one. Woke up in the morning, that's the song I was singing. Cold ground was my bed last night. Green Park and the underground, making the money like that. The whole day go by, I make some money. Next day I go down to lay down and say I go to sleep. As I'm about to prepare to sleep, I see one Caribbean man was just like standing there, and then he noticed me and said, "You, what you doing?" I said, well, I'm gonna lay down and sleep. He said, why? What you doing out here? Because all the other bums really is like old, washed out white people, and I was a young, fresh looking black youth, and he's like wondering what's up with this kid with this guitar. He's about to lay down here, and he says, "Nah, man, come with me." So he had a car. He says, I didn't come to meet somebody, but they never show up, so, And I was sticking around and never know why I'm sticking around. So I think God showed me that it's you. So I'm come pick you up. I'm telling you, Rasta, the truth. It's my testimony. So the man take me in his car and drive, and I drive past Green Park. And guess what? The first thing where he show me, it's like I come like a tourist now. The first thing where he show me, see that there? The Queen's house, the Buckingham Palace. So it's me riding in a car, alright, fucking homeless, no money, and looking out and say, yeah, Elizabeth. We're in East London, spend the night, and man take good care of me, And he asked me my age, and I said 18. He says, boy, you're adventurous, you better take care of my youth. You know what you're doing? I said, yes, I'm going to Brixton, I'm going to find the Rasta man. So I went to Brixton, and yes, I'm a Rasta, but it's a different story now. I'm not gonna tell that here. I got a long story. Remember, we're gonna be hustling together. So we're gonna tell each other stories when we meet. You sons and daughters of land of wood and water. um, so yeah, Rastas, I'll tell you though, there's enough of them, too many to mention here, but they teach me everything I know, you know. Now I've lost my track. Um, but yeah, that's Rasta. The point I want to make now, because I'm talking to Jamaican, I said I have something for all of you, right? Out of all Jamaicans at this point in time, so that you all understand when I say I'm serious, I'm not joking. You know who's the biggest Rasta right now? Who do the biggest Rasta work in reggae music right now? Totally untouchable in terms of the work that's been done in reggae music for reggae music. I like to big up Babsy. Babsy Grange is the biggest Rasta in Jamaica right now. I don't care how you're vegetarian or vegan or what you're doing, I don't care. You understand? Because that one move where she get reggae on the list UNESCO of intangible human heritage, heritage of humanity. That move there, that chess move, that strategic move, it make everybody look like duns. From the point of view of, say, centralize and organize for repatriation and reparation. All I wanna, big Rasta, a dunce. Only Babsy come out shining bright. If you know your history, if you know what needs to be done. And then most people who know that they fall out with me for reason why they don't understand is because I see the lack of direction, the lack of understanding what kind of thing you have with him. Do you know the name of the father who we call Haile Selassie? You know, the real Emmanuel. You know, the one whose government shall be on his shoulders. You know what it means to have a government on your shoulder? You know what it means when the Psalms say that your sons are going to speak at the gate? UNESCO, United Nations, that's our father's thing. The people who put together United Nations were inspired by His Imperial Majesty's stance against fascism before, during, and after World War II. The highest intellectuals in the world got together to put together that charter. You know? And you know what? They were even more radical than that. They had to dilute it a little bit. You understand? So, you think if there was no UN, you think we'd have the song that said, until the philosophy that hold one race superior, and that if there was no UN, you think there'd have been a forum for that speech to be made? Bob Marley received a prize from the UN, and his acceptance speech, it don't really live up to the significance of what it was. Maybe in his spirit, yeah, he moves, you know. But the reality of it, who pick up the mantle for what's supposed to be done with reggae music? Babsy. And that's what we mean by direction, you know. So that's why we have a song called UNESCO Reggae alongside Thank You Jamaica and other songs that really want to introduce to the people of Jamaica within the right movement. I just want to let you know that anytime you move like this, on this level, there's pure angel around you, Rasta. Pure angel, and the demons don't know what to do. anytime you come out of that, oh my God, worries, conflict and tribulation and court case and you know, how could it be Art a United Nation when Jah United Nation, you know, it's a platform for reggae music. Now it means that the UN is a platform for every artist who have something to say to the world to use that platform and follow in the footsteps of His Imperial Majesty. You see any Rasta who even thought of doing that? You should see the reaction to it from different people. Say, oh, I'm trying to exploit, blah, blah, blah. No, Rasta. That is I Father moving and making things happen. You need to know the hand of the Father. You know, you need to know that. Otherwise, pure damnation. When you need not go down. Because this is the Father's time. We got to live. Whoa now, cause the Father's time has come. Some people got everything. Some people got nothing. You know, so big up Babsy Grange. Don't know about the rest of everything, what you all are busy with. Scam company. All I don't know. But I recognize the Father when the Father moved, you know, and that's a daddy move. And you should just be glad that the Father put it in your mind to do it. It means you're chosen for something, you know. I'm glad as a woman still, because what we have is Cool Mom Records for the strength of the woman still, you know. So one love, Rastafari. So what happened, people? You ready to hustle? You ready to hustle with me, Jamaica? I'm ready to hustle with you, man. I'm gonna tell you, we have something for all of them. Every Jamaica is a millionaire. You hear me? Rastafari.